Welcome, everyone. This is Marie Waite. I am your host today, and this is where we talk to a lot of amazing people. And this time we have a special guest. His name is Ugo Arimo. Ugo, how are you doing? Welcome to our
I'm doing
show.
fant- I'm doing fantastic, Marie. How you doing?
Good. I am so excited to meet you in one of your live events in TikTok, and you are very much followed by so many people. And I'm very impressed with some of your accomplishments. I've heard that you've done a lot of, what is that? Short, it's a karate style. What is the name of that karate that you do?
First of all, it's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, I'm sorry. And this is the first time I'm hearing all about this, but I was very intrigued by you. And I wanted to learn more about what you do. So let's start from the beginning, Hugo. I mean, can you tell us, some of your backgrounds that can help the audience learn more about you?
Okay, a little bit about my background. I did 4 years in the military. It was from
Wow.
'96 to 2000, and then once I got out of the military, I went to college. Right, I got my license and degree in occupational therapy. So I'm a licensed occupational therapy assistant, a CODA. And then I started doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in 2003. And I've done over 60 Jiu Jitsu tournaments. I've won a world championship in Brazilian
Oh
Jiu Jitsu
my.
in 2012 as a brown belt in the heavyweight class. I've done a pro MMA fight. I've done a pro Jiu Jitsu fight. And I started competing in bodybuilding, men's physique competitions in 2012. I became a pro in 2016 in men's physique. I've won a lot of pro titles in that. And as of last year, I'm recently retired from the bodybuilding industry, and now I embarking as a judge. I'm a social media influencer, as you can tell, and I'm also a jiu-jitsu instructor at Davis Martial Arts Academy here in Humble, Texas.
Okay, so you're from Texas. Wow, that is amazing. First of all, thank you for your service for being in the military. And what was your experience in during those 4 years in military?
Experience was good. I learned a lot. The military taught me a lot of discipline. Um, I learned how to be more sure of myself. Like coming up, I was, bullied, picked on, and stuff like throughout high school, middle school. Um, just basically because of the fact that I was smaller than the other kids and stuff. So, and I was born in Nigeria, so having that kind of background, having a weird name, people had a hard time saying my name. So it was like, yeah, I got picked on a lot for that. Um, so the military helped me come out of my shell. I learned to talk to people a little bit more. I learned to be a little bit more outgoing, and so that carried over to my present day life. So it was a great experience.
Wow. So yeah, do you recommend to a lot of young people to get into military?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I tell everybody, I recommend anybody coming out of high school join the military, right? Join the military. Serve your country, learn a lot. It'll help you as far as like maturity wise, growing up. Like, I mean, man, because you see real life stuff. I've seen some things that, I mean, it wakes you up to reality. So
Wow, that is
highly recommend.
incredible. So tell me more about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I'm not familiar with. That's why I was having trouble understanding what it is.
All right. Well, so the reason why I got into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, here's a backstory behind it. In this town over here, it was kind of I got into a situation at a bar, right, where and back then I'm 6'4". Back then I was 182 pounds, so I was pretty skinny, right, but I'm pretty tall. Now I'm a lot bigger, but back then I got into a situation where I almost got jumped. All right,
Mhm.
these guys wanted to start a fight with me just because of the simple fact that, and I don't, like to throw race around, but they were race. It was race related, right? It was a kind of backwoods type of bar or whatever, right? And the luckily the DJ came to my rescue, the bouncers, everything like that, and they threw the gentleman out. But it got me thinking I needed to be able to or have the confidence to defend myself, right? So that's when I started researching and trying to find a martial arts that I could do that would give me the confidence to be able to defend myself had that situation ever arised again. So that's when I discovered Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. A friend of mine recommended a local school here in Houston, in Humble, and I checked it out. And I didn't know what it was about. Just like you, I didn't know what it was about. I never even heard of it. I thought it was some kind of like karate, kung fu type thing, right? And I watched them do it. It's basically submission wrestling. It's a form like grappling.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
totally different.
Oh yeah.
It is a wrestling. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have done some more research before I asked you the question. But I'm
Hey,
glad
no problem.
that I had to learn about it. Because my background, my family was the one that started the karate in the Philippines. So my
Okay.
mindset is all about karate, and my grandfather founded the karate, and both my uncle, my dad did a lot of karate movies. That's why I'm
Yeah.
into what you were saying when you were talking about this, and I said I thought it was the same thing, but now I understand. Now let me ask you this question. So you were also, you went back to school for occupational therapy
Yes.
as a therapist. Okay, so how did that connect with you now being in learning the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Is there a connection between the two?
There's actually no connection. When I got out of the military, I wanted to go into physical therapy, and I actually wanted to play basketball for college basketball because I played basketball when I was in the Navy. I played for the base team and the hospital team. So when I got out, I used to go to U of H and scrimmage with some of the players that they had at the time. But I wasn't able to get into University of Houston because I didn't have enough transferable credits. So I had to go to a community college to get enough credits to transfer over to University of Houston. So I found, upon going through the process, one of my uncles, he was an occupational therapist, and I was working for him at the time, part-time, while I went to school. And he told me about an occupational therapy assistant school here in Kingwood that he could get me in, and it was a brand new program. He knew the head director and everything like that, so he told me he can get me into it. I didn't know what it was, so I had a choice. I could continue to try to live my basketball dreams and try to get into U of H and try to go through physical therapy, or I could move to Kingwood and try and do occupational therapy assistant program, which was just a 2-year program, 18-month program, and I'd be making pretty good money. So that's how I got into that. And I got into that in 2001.
And
And
are you still doing it?
no, I still maintain my license,
Okay.
but I'm not non-practicing. I haven't practiced OT since like 2012.
Okay, I see. And
So
you just kind of spend all your time with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you won a lot of competitions, and that's amazing. So
yeah.
so tell me, what did it do for you personally by being in all of this competition? What was the impact in your life?
Well, when I first got into jiu-jitsu, it wasn't to compete. Like there was no way, like I didn't want to compete. But within a month of doing it, I started gaining more confidence and stuff like that. And prior to that, I was what I tell people, I was a functional alcoholic. So I drank all the time, I partied, I went to clubs all the time. But to compete, your body has to be at its optimal best, right? So I had to stop drinking as much as like how I drank. So to be ready to be able to train and stuff like that the next day. So to answer your question, I got into it like a month in because I'm a competitive person.
Okay. So
Yeah,
naturally you have that competition in you. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, once I started doing it, after the first competition, I was hooked. I was hooked. I loved it.
Okay. So it actually improved you by not having to by having you to stop drinking.
Yes.
and just really concentrated on really getting into the competition, and you won and you accomplished a lot of things in that industry.
Yeah, I mean, I've won a lot. Like I've won a world championship. I've won a lot of first place, medals, trophies,
Wow.
all of that stuff. Like I got arsenals of trophies and medals and stuff.
Hmm.
But it's not the whole point isn't to win. It's just the act of like the competition, the rush,
Okay,
the adrenaline,
I see.
plus I've met a lot of cool people. I've trained like UFC fighters. I've cornered UFC fighters, MMA fighters, Bellator fighters. I've met a lot of celebrities. I've trained with a lot of celebrities, seen in movies, and all of that stuff.
Wow, that's
Like
amazing.
you know,
So,
uh,
so let me ask you this. For a lot of people competing, it is all about the mindset too. Now,
yeah.
what do you do that works for you really, really well, that you can share to our audience?
One of the biggest things with me is that I can share is hard work. Right, I truly believe it. If you want to accomplish something in this life, there's nothing easy about it. Like you got to put in the work. People are like, man, what's your secret? Secret is hard work. Like, no,
Okay.
no, no, for real. No, for real. What's your secret? Hard work. I'm in there busting my butt training. I used to train 4 or 5 days a week, right? Work
Hmm.
out, run 3 miles 2 to 3 times a week, weight cut, all kinds of stuff. Like eat stuff I didn't even want to eat just to make weight. Like I mean, it's a lot of work, discipline. You got to be
Yeah.
disciplined, focused. So two of my mantras that I use: hard work, perseverance, and then stay focused. Because you got to stay focused, you got to put in the work, and you got to persevere through the training and everything.
Now,
So
do you help people learn those techniques that you use?
yeah, I mean, I'm an instructor at the jiu-jitsu school where I'm at. We have kids and stuff like that. Like I don't teach the children's program, but I teach the adults program, when I'm needed. So over the years, I used to teach the MMA program. We had an MMA program. Like I've done Filipino martial arts. I mean, I did that for,
Really?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I've done Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Okay.
Did that for like 12 years. Did boxing for 4 years. I've trained with a lot of fighters. I've been on
Wow.
national television, cornering people. Fighters, MMA fighters.
That
So I
is
mean,
incredible. So what was the best part of the entire journey for you?
the best part is just the relationships that I've built. Some of the people that I've met, along the lines. Being able to travel throughout the U.S. Like most of the competitions were in California, so you know, it was cool going to California, even though I was stationed there. But Florida, um, I mean, it's New York. I mean,
So
yeah,
it
it's
kind
been.
of opened up the world for you.
Oh yeah, made a
Yeah.
lot of good connections. Like people who, if I didn't do jujitsu, we probably wouldn't be friends to this day. Like one of my closest friends, I met him doing jujitsu. He's the owner of the school. But me and him, if we didn't do jujitsu, like we wouldn't be friends because he's an a-hole.
So, but because you
But
got to know each other, and
yeah,
it created that bond and very strong friendship.
yeah, yes.
Okay. Wow, it is such an amazing story from you, coming from, starting where you're getting bullied, and then now you are like world champion for all of these
Yeah,
things. That is amazing, and it's such an inspiration for a lot of young people that are going through things in life, that things can change for them, and that there's a lot of hope for them to be successful and to be very strong also in health wise and fitness. That is an incredible story from you, Ugo. Now let me ask you, what is the Black Spiderman? They call you
uh,
Black Spiderman. I'm curious, how did that all start?
so so here's the thing. I'll tell you a story. Back in 1996, uh, I was looking forward to getting. I was gonna get a Spider-Man tattoo. Right, he had the red and blue costume. Right,
Color,
his normal
yes.
costume. Yeah. So, but back in 1988, Spider-Man had a black and white suit costume. He came out, he debuted, it came out for a little bit, right? It was called Spider-Man's new suit or whatever, the symbiote Spider-Man. That was the title of the comic books or something like that. Spider-Man's new suit, something like that, right? But my best friend, you know, like if the story behind it is with that suit is because Peter Parker, he was engulfed, right, by this symbiote. A symbiote is like a parasite, right? So they have like kind of like a symbiotic like relationship with the host. So basically, Peter Parker, the suit was making Peter Parker do bad things, right? But deep inside, right, was still Peter Parker. He was a good guy.
Yes.
Right. So my best friend, you know, we were talking about it. And he was just like, man, you should get Spider-Man's new suit. You should have that tatted on you and stuff like that. And you can be the Black Spider-Man. Like he was trying to be funny, right? But it made sense to me because, you know, at the time I was kind of like a bad boy. I was doing a lot of bad things, you know, getting into a lot of trouble and stuff, right? But deep inside, I was a good guy, you know, I had a good heart. So Black Spider-Man came out, and
Wow. So
then
that's the story behind that. I actually like it. That's why, you know, it caught my eye to really check you out when you were having your live event because the name was Black
yeah,
Spiderman. Said, what is the story behind this? I was really curious. And to be honest with you, I'm so glad that I did that because now learning everything about you was
yeah.
amazing. And I am very thankful for this time that we were able to connect. Now,
Oh,
Hugo, is it so?
quick thing,
Yes.
quick, like I actually blew it up through MySpace in 2001, January 2001. I made a MySpace account, the Black Spiderman, right? So
Oh,
through the military, that was my alias. Everybody in my basketball team called me the Black Spiderman. The base, that was what I, you know, because I
yes.
had the tattoo. I had the tattoo on my right arm.
Okay.
But MySpace, I made a MySpace account in 2001. 8 months later, I had over 100,000 friends.
Wow,
So
800,000. Now you are also famous in TikTok. I mean, what is the situation with TikTok right now? I mean, for you to be live, I mean, obviously that you have tons of followers there too.
Well, actually, when you saw me, I'm coming off of a shadow ban. Like I've been banned since November 4th. Like
Really? Why
yeah, I
is
should
that?
have. I was posting some political stuff. You know, they didn't like that too much. But
Okay.
yeah, I was gaining like I should be close to like a million, over a million right now. Like
Really?
had
Okay.
they not, yeah, because I was posting videos that every video I posted, and I'd post like 5 to 10 videos a day. It was
Okay.
gaining minimal 4,000 to 100,000 views.
And
And
TikTok
then
stopped that just because of
they stopped it. They stopped it. I was gaining like 2 to 4,000 followers a day, and
Wow.
then like a day, yeah. And then like I had up to 100 and at the time 128,000. So
Yeah.
since November 4th, November 4th. I posted a video that went viral, had like 800,000 views in like 3 hours.
And what was the video about?
uh, okay, well, it was a political video. I was making a
Oh,
political
okay,
statement.
okay. So
Okay.
it created some controversy on that. But you know what? I am really, now that I know your background, I'm actually really curious if you can post some of those inspirational mindset that you have um, for winning all those competition, because that is really what people would really want to hear too. I mean, the discipline and the focus and how you were able to really put the hard work in everything that you do, that is actually unbelievable. I mean, seriously, I would love to hear more about you in TikTok, and I would watch it if you are going to share that,
Well, actually,
uh,
well, like YouTube, I've got like thousands and thousands of videos. I have a Facebook fan page that's got like a little under 300,000 like fans and
wow.
stuff like that. So I have like tons and tons of other social media accounts and stuff. You know, Twitter,
I better check
Instagram.
it, right?
Yeah. So I've got, you know, motivational, inspirational quotes. I've got memes. I've got videos, workout videos, jujitsu stuff. Some of my old jujitsu matches, my pro MMA fight, my
Wow.
pro jiu-jitsu fights. I've got interviews that I've done. You know, I've been interviewed. Local news when I won the world championship. I got interviewed on the news here in Houston.
So
Um,
why, how come you're not yet in the movie? I mean, you should have your own movie by now
yeah, I know, right?
with
It's
all of
been,
the things that you do.
you know, yeah, I question a lot of people question that too, but I'm not big enough yet. I've
No, no,
always,
no, no. It's a matter of connections. You know how that works, right? I mean, same thing with what you've done with the wrestling industry. I do know a director who's connected to Paramount Pictures. I could definitely connect you to him, and he could help you write the script and all of that. So if you are interested in really pursuing a movie, I think your story is impeccable. That it will be great, and to put it in writing and create a good movie out of it.
I'm always down. I'm always open to any opportunities and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I've done a lot of my time, and like I tell people, I'm an immigrant. I came from another country. I was born in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
so we came to this country. We barely spoke English. I
Well,
had to learn English and everything. Got picked on, bullied. Um,
well, I
like
can
I,
totally relate, with you. I mean, I came from the Philippines also and have to
yeah,
learn English for 2 years and dealt with some few people that, was made me
yeah,
cry.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's part of the experience and the journey that we go through, and how you face it and how you overcome all of those challenges. It's part of who we are, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
So
am very thankful for your time, Ugo. Is it Hugo or Ugo?
you go.
Hugo. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
Hugo. Okay, I actually am thankful for your time. And again, let me tell everyone. Oh, actually, if anybody wants to get a hold of you and learn more about your experience, how can they get a hold of you?
They can just look me up. I'm on almost every single social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, the Black Spiderman, Black Spiderman. I got merchandise. They just go to Instagram, click my link tree. You'll see all the sites, the merch, everything. I got
Awesome.
a
Would
shred.
love to see some of those. Okay. Again, thank you again, Hugo. To all of you out there, this is Marie Waite. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out this video with Hugo. He is incredible. And if you want to connect with him, go check out all his social media. He is pretty much famous. He just needs to, to have his own movie. And we're so blessed to have him today. Again, thank you, everyone. And my name is Marie Waite, and we will see you next time.